Good morning and welcome to Networking with Integrity. My name is Annette Walters and I am passionate about networking. It is something that I have done since I graduated from college, so over 20 years in sales and marketing. And I have seen people struggle and I've seen people succeed. And the main person who has struggled and succeeded, well, has been me. And so I'm here to share what I know about networking to hopefully help you get over those speed bumps and those challenges that networking can pose, and hopefully give you hope to use networking to expand your business, network for your next job, or even advance your career. So today we're talking about why. We're talking about why do we network? Now, statistically, and that's where I always like to start because research is kind of my thing, is that I came up with this article from business journals. I've put the link to the article the in the description of this video today, and so go in and take a look at it. It's fascinating because the statistics there for networking, they're there to just prove that we should be networking, especially when we're doing it well. So let me read these off to you because I think that this is significant. It says 95% of people agree that better business relationships are built on face to face meetings. Yep, that's walking into a room and actually meeting people. 80% of professionals believe that you can be more successful in business if you network with other professionals. Now, these are both peers in an industry as well as clients and finding mentors and things like that. 40% of prospects became customers when an in place meeting takes place. So I know a lot of us are online just like this, but when we get in front of people, these that's where these networking in persons really does make a difference. And then 85%. Now we've talked about this before and I thought it was 70, but this one says 85% networking alone is responsible for filling as many as 85% of jobs. 85%. So we've talked about the fact that, well, I guess what we were talking about before was that 70% of all jobs that are out there are never listed anywhere publicly. They're just kind of filled. And this says that 85% of jobs are actually filled, well, no matter where they're listed, through networking. Because we're always trying to find that know, like, and trust. And if we can walk into hiring somebody already having some level of trust because of our interaction, other than just looking at a resume and interviewing, that makes a huge difference. 99% of business to business purchases are influenced by referrals and recommendations. Referrals and recommendations. That is an integral part and a result of networking because we're sharing what we like, what we know works, and hopefully we do it to help other people. And then finally, 20 to 50% of all purchasing decisions are directly influenced by word of mouth. So take a look at that. The main reason I bring this up is because statistics like this are things that people use to try and build their why. Well, it works. I just gave you a bunch of statistics that say that this is the type of thing that works. So why don't we believe it? Why don't we get out there and actually do it? Well, that's because we need a more personal why. We need to believe that we are going to find the people who are going to influence maybe the purchasing decision maker to buy our product or to open the door for us or mentor us. And I think we get wrapped up a lot of times in, is this the right group? Is this the right conversation to have? Am I making the right impression? Is this even possible for me to walk through and and create the circumstances or the opportunities to get to where I want to be. In networking, we get wrapped up a lot of times in ourselves, which is what we've been talking about a lot the last couple of weeks, is that we can have statistics like, 85% of people find jobs or the jobs are filled when networking takes place by a personal recommendation. That also happens in business and in career progressions as well. But how do we get to that point? What we're working on here is to get into a groove where we actually have a why that allows us to show up, allows us to be vulnerable, and allows us to work on the belonging wherever that we're going. Whether it is a one-on-one, feeling like we have a seat at the table, or whether we are within a networking group and we belong there as well. When we're talking about our why, you know that you have hit the right why when your why trumps waking up tired and not wanting to go to that 7:30 meeting. Your why trumps being a little shy going into a networking group that you don't know anybody. When we are working on your why, we want to make sure that when you hit it, you see it and that you understand it. So when I go into networking meetings, especially those that groups that I have never been to before, one of the things that I do is that I walk through a practice that helps me to walk up to people that I don't know. Now, even with all of my years of experience, I will still take a look around the room and go, oh, that group looks like they might talk to me, and that group looks like, I don't think so. But then I go back and I think, but until I actually have conversations, how will I know? Because what we're doing when we go into networking is figuring out who our people are and who are not. When I was doing pure life coaching a couple of years ago, right after I got my certification, I knew walking into any given room that most people in that room probably didn't know what life coaching was, let alone thought they needed it. And so the way that I started to judge different groups and different peoples were, I'm looking for a group who will take the time to ask questions and get curious. Because if I can find an opportunity to have some joint curiosity, then those are the times where I can at least, if they do not need it, which many times they didn't, they would potentially know somebody who did. If we go back to the first week when we were getting together, a lot of times when we are networking, we are not there to pitch that person on our product, our service, or potentially our hireability. What we're doing is that we are networking so that they become, eventually through communication and relationship, one of our raving fans to help us get to where we need to be, whether it's a purchasing manager or a hiring manager, that we're in that place and introduced where we walk in with some credibility to start with. When you think about your why, take a little bit of time to remember the statistics so that maybe they can bolster you up so that you go, oh yeah, you remember, this really does work, even though it's taking me a little bit of time. But my why is to make great connections, maybe a couple of friendships along the way, but hopefully in the end, a number of interdependent relationships where we help each other grow, build, and succeed, however each of us defines it. I hope that that is helpful today. My name is Annette Walters with Networking with Integrity. Thank you for following me here on YouTube. Remember to hit that subscribe button and hit the notification button so that the next time I go live, you will get notified. You can reach me at thenwi.com. And also remember, if you're looking for the 3 best networking questions to take into any networking situation, make sure that you email me at contact@thenwi, which, as you all know, stands for Networking with Integrity. So contact@thenwi.com, and I will send you out that worksheet and video, because those questions only work if you make them personal. Have a wonderful day, and I will see you here tomorrow morning, where we will continue talking about networking with integrity. Have a great day, guys.